What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Chatting with Cheese podcast. I'm your host, Fat Cheese, and y'all already know the motto, no gimmicks, only the real. And this is episode 79. Now, y'all know what I need from y'all. Continue to smash that subscribe button. We are this close to 400 subscribers. I think we about 9 subscribers away. So make sure if you watch the video, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also, do not forget to like this video when it drops and make sure you share it. And let's go ahead and dive right into it. So this weekend was a great weekend for boxing. There was a lot going on. It was a lot of local fights going on, but you also had some big fights this past weekend, and it was great. Starting off with Saturday night, you had Ryan Garcia going up against Barrios. That was a hell of a card. And, you know, we had some local talent on there. Shout out to Gary Antoine Russell on that card. He ended up winning his fight. Solid performance. But on Sunday, we had the big event, Clarissa Shields in the rematch versus Francois Cruz Dezern. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. If I mispronounce it, I apologize. But hell of a fight. Clarissa Shields, this is the second time these guys fought. The first fight was a duel. They ran it back, sold out the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. So I decided, you know, with my first topic, I'm going to show the ladies some love and, you know, give my thoughts on that fight and Clarissa Shields' performance on Sunday. So Clarissa Shields beat longtime rival Francois Cruz Dezern on Sunday in Detroit to keep her undisputed heavyweight titles. Cruz Dezern came out aggressive early, but Shields quickly adjusted, took control of the fight, and dominated the rest of the way. After the early rounds, Cruz Dezern slowed down, and Shields stayed in charge with her speed and clean punches. Shields won easily by unanimous decision, with all 3 judges scoring it 100-90. After the fight, Shields said she's open to dropping down in weight for her next matchup, possibly for a third fight with Cruz Dezern or bouts against Shadeja Green or Michaela Mayer. My thoughts on the fight on Sunday. I think Clarissa Shields just went out there and put on the clinic, something that we're used to seeing her do by now. I think Cruz Dezern came out aggressive in that first round. I think she kind of basically gave everything she had in that first round. And then after that, Clarissa Shields was able to weather the storm, and she just had control of the fight for the rest for going forward. I mean, just the hand speed, the clean punches, you know. And one thing I like about watching Clarissa Shields is she's not one of those type that's gonna, you know, bounce around and, you know, be moving around the ring. Clarissa Shields like to get in there and mix it up. That's one thing that I respect about her. And when I watch her fights, you never see her, you know, people nowadays like to say quote unquote running, but you never see her, you know, a lot of movement or anything. Clarissa Shields, she's walking you down and she's trying to exchange. And on Sunday, I think you seen that with a solid performance. You know, like I said, she weathered the storm in that first round, and then after that, it was just complete domination. I wanted to see her get the knockout, but unfortunately, she didn't. Cruz Dezern is, you know, a tough woman. You know, she's always been tough, and you know, Clarissa tried to get it, but she couldn't. But it was a hell of a fight from Clarissa, and this is just my opinion. And I know some people may have pushback on this, but now, let me start off by saying this. I'm not one of those people that I'm not going to fake the funk. Y'all know I keep it 100. I'm not one of those people that has always been into women boxing until, you know, a little later on. I always followed men boxing, but I didn't always get into women boxing until, you know, a little later on. From what I've seen, I think the name that Clarissa Shields have proclaimed herself, I believe it to be true. I think Clarissa Shields is the greatest woman fighter of all time. And that's no disrespect to women like Layla Ali, because I know a lot of people going to jump in the comments and make it seem like this is not a shot at Layla Ali. But I have to be honest. I never witnessed Layla Ali fight. I never seen, that probably was before my time. I never seen Layla Ali fight. So if anybody that jump in this comment section or wherever I post this at, if you have witnessed Layla Ali fight in the ring, I know what she's done. I know her accomplishments, but I never physically, with my own 2 eyes, was able to watch Layla Ali, so I can't call her the GOAT. I can call Clarissa Shields the GOAT in women's boxing because I've witnessed Clarissa Shields fight multiple times, and every time it's dominant fashion. Every single time I have watched this lady fight, it has been a clean sweep dominant. And I don't see no woman in this age or this century beating her. Like, I don't see it. I mean, I watch a lot of women's boxing. I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch a whole bunch, but I watch enough to know, the women out there. And it's some other women fighters that I like. But when I watch Clarissa Shields is she's a dog. Like, her mentality is different. And I know sometimes people like to call it cockiness, but her confidence is through the roof. She believes in her skills. She believes the work that she in the work that she puts in, and that's what make me a big fan of her. Every time she steps in that ring, she puts on an absolute show. I think she's what she's doing for the sport of women boxing, I think, is big. I think she has put it on a way bigger platform than it was before. And I mean, you got to take your hat off to her. You can say whatever you want about her, but you have to take your hat off to the accomplishments and to the things that she has been able to do. I don't see nobody beating her. And another thing that I respect about her is you see her all the time move up in weight, go down in weight. You've seen her in UFC bouts, all types of stuff. I don't understand how there's still people out there that don't want to give this woman her credit. She's an absolute dog. Shout out to Clarissa Shields and everything she's accomplished, everything she's done. And in my personal opinion, she is what she called herself, the GOAT. She's the greatest woman boxer of all time, in my opinion. Now, like I said, if you have a different opinion, leave your comments down below. I love hearing other people's opinions, but I'm just giving y'all my opinion from what I see from my two eyes. But I also want to give a shout out to Francois Cruz Dezern. And like I said, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm completely sorry. But hey, she went out there in them first rounds, and she had some flashes in the later rounds. But in that first round, she went out there to try to, assert her dominance. And she had some moments in the fight, but she one tough lady, though. I mean, there was times where you just thought Clarissa Shields was going to put her down, and she wouldn't go down. And, I love that. So shout out to her. But Clarissa Shields is an absolute dog, and I don't see no woman in no weight class being able to beat Clarissa Shields. I think Clarissa Shields is just going to continue to dominate the sport until, someone maybe fresh and new comes along and, pulls off an upset, or she just decides to hang up the gloves. But Clarissa Shields is only 30 years old. She's literally in the prime of her career. So, hey, man, we might be watching Clarissa Shields dominate for some time, but from my viewpoint, I don't see no woman coming along in no weight division coming along beating her. But shout out to Clarissa Shields. Great performance, and I can't wait to see what's next. Moving on, we're going to stick to boxing, but this is some news that came out. Floyd Mayweather has decided to unretire, and it is official that he will be fighting Manny Pacquiao in a rematch on September the 29th in Las Vegas. So I made a short clip about this, but I said, you know what? I think I need to dive into it a little more, so let me bring it onto the podcast. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are officially set for a rematch on September 19th in Las Vegas, and the fight will stream live on Netflix. Their first fight back in 2015, known as the Fight of the Century, ended with Mayweather winning by unanimous decision, but many fans felt the fight was disappointing. Now, almost 10 years later, both fighters are well past their prime. Mayweather is 49 and Pacquiao is 47. Mayweather last fought professionally in 2017, while Pacquiao competed for a title in 2025. Even with their age, the hype is real. Pacquiao says fans deserve this rematch and promises a better fight. He also dedicated the match to Filipinos around the world. Filipinos around the world. Mayweather kept it simple, saying he's already beat Manny once and expects the same result again. The 2015 fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao made over $600 million, making it the biggest boxing event ever. Mayweather made about $220 to $275 million, while Pacquiao earned around $120 to $150 million. So let me give you my thoughts on this fight and Floyd and Pacquiao. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, and I want to take a sip of water before I say this, right? I don't want to see this shit. I mean, I just got to be honest. And I may be in the minority, right? I may be in the minority. But I'm going to be honest with you. Me being a boxing fan that I am, and me, before this, for years, I was saying that I felt as though the sport was slowly dying out because you had guys not wanting to fight, guys protecting their undefeated record. And I felt as though within these last, I would say these last, maybe coming up the last couple of months, since Earl Spence and Bud Crawford fought each other, I felt as though that the sport was kind of reviving itself. I thought with the addition of Turkey in the sport, we were starting to see the fights that we wanted to see. I'm sorry, y'all. I do not want to see no 49-year-old Floyd Mayweather fighting no 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao. This fight happening, to me, sets the sport back. Because why does this need to happen? Both of these guys are past their prime, pushing 50 years old. And even though Manny Pacquiao did fight in 2025, and he went out there and put on a decent performance against Barrios, which I believe ended in a draw. But bro, nobody. This is a money grab. This is a money grab. I don't want to see this shit. I don't. I'm sorry. If people are excited and want to see basically two 50-year-olds get in the ring and fight, then we might as well open the real boxing fans. If you consider yourself a real boxing fan and you want to see a 49-year-old Floyd Mayweather and a 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao, we might as well open our arms up and embrace Jake Paul with open arms, because that's what it looked like to me. This gives me Jake Paul vibes. It's a money grab. It's a money grab, bro. We coming off of, we got guys like Shakur Stevenson, what he just did with him and T.O. You got guys like Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis. You got, a bunch of people, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do we need to see a 49-year-old Floyd Mayweather and a 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao? Like, I'm not a fan of it, bro. And I love Floyd Mayweather. I think Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer of all time. But, bro, I don't want to see this. I don't. And like I said, I may be in the minority of that. I may be the only person that don't want to see it. Because, I mean, let's keep it a buck. Everybody gonna watch it. But come on, bro. Who really wants to see that? Now, I did see some training clips of Floyd. And Floyd, don't get it twisted. For him to be at his age, Floyd looked good. Floyd looked decent. He has been fighting in these exhibitions, so he's been in, I believe he's in shape. But I just think that this sets the sport back when you have so many of these young up and coming fighters, looking good. We starting to get the fights that we want to see. And it feel like that the sport is rising back again. And I just think, come on, like, why do we need to see two late 40 guys? Like, I'm not a fan, bro. I'm not, and I tried to buy into it, but it's just like, come on, this screams money grab. I don't see this fight making anywhere near the $600 million that it made in 2015. Because even when Floyd fought Pacquiao, then people were saying that Floyd waited him out and the fight happened 5 years too late, or however late they thought it was. They felt it was. And now, 10 years later, a decade or something later, we about to watch them fight. Come on, man. Like, I'm not a fan, bro. I consider myself a real boxing guy, like a real boxing fan, bro. Like, I'm not one of those type of guys that, just want to see. No, bro. I want to see good competitive fights, bro. At some point we gotta pass the torch. Bud is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta pass the torch, bro. We don't need to see, like, if you gonna make that shit an exhibition. Stay over there in the exhibition lane. Like, we don't want to. I don't want to see it, bro. I don't. I'm not a fan of it, and I'm not afraid to say I'm not a fan of it. And again, this is no personal shot at Floyd or Manny Pacquiao. I'm just not a fan of seeing two late 40 guys, you know what I'm saying, guys in their late 40s going in there and fight. I'm not a fan. That doesn't excite me. Now, if both guys were, I don't even know. I would say maybe earlier 40s. I would probably be a little bit more excited. Like if Floyd was 40 and Manny was late 30s or something like, then maybe. But not at no 49 and 47. I'm just not. I'm not a fan of that. But hey, make your money. I do believe that people will still pay to see it. I believe. People still love Floyd. I love Floyd. I believe people will buy tickets, go out to the fight. Hey, have at it. And I'm not even gonna sit here and say that I'm not gonna watch it. More than likely, I probably am gonna watch it. But is this something that I'm excited for? No. And I hope that if this is the main event of a card that's gonna happen, put some young talent, put some young guys, some like that guys on the undercard. I think that kind of will make up for it. But all in all, hey man, make your money. I'm not one to count people's pockets. I know a lot of people saying that Floyd may be down on his luck as far as money wise. I don't know. That ain't my business. But this seems like a money grab to me. And I think, honestly, this was the only option for Floyd because he wasn't going up to no 160 nothing to fight Canelo again. He damn sure don't want to see no Bud Crawford. So I felt as though a run back with Manny Pacquiao really was the only option when I heard he was retiring. And here we are. But who knows, man? Manny had fought more recently than Floyd, and Manny fought a world champion. He did fight Barrios and it ended up being a draw. So, hey, listen, you never know. Manny might go out there, and if Floyd go out there BSing, but like I said, this is one that I'm not gonna lie. I more than likely probably will watch. But I'm not excited for. But y'all let me know down in the comments, man. Are y'all excited? We have a Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao 2 going down September 19th in Las Vegas. Y'all comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Is this something that y'all want to see? How do y'all give me y'all true feelings about how do y'all feel? Do I maybe need to shut up and I'm overthinking it? Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. But that's just my thoughts on it. Moving on, we're going to move on to the football field. We are now in the off season. So, now things are about to start ramping up as far as, free agency. You got the combine getting ready to kick off, the draft, things like that. So I thought, why not talk about one of the biggest stories out there, one of the biggest free agents, and that's the Dallas Cowboys and wide receiver George Pickens. So the Cowboys plan to put the franchise tag on wide receiver George Pickens, but they still want him to be part of the team long term. Team co-owner Stephen Jones said the team hopes Pickens shows up for off-season workouts while they work on a new contract. Pickens had a breakout 2025 season, making his first Pro Bowl and earning second-team All-Pro honors. He finished with 93 catches, 1,429 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Because of that, he's now in line for a massive payday. The franchise tag will pay Pickens about $28 million for next season, but his camp is hoping for a deal closer to $30 per year. If that happens, he joined teammate CeeDee Lamb as one of the highest paid receivers in the league. Talks are expected to heat up this week at the NFL Combine. So let me get my thoughts on this, right? First of all, starting with the Cowboys putting him on the franchise tag. This is a no-brainer to me at all. I knew that this was coming. But this is the thing that kind of irks my nerves, right? And this is with mainstream media and these big platforms. Why are people acting like this is a shock, like we haven't seen this before? Like people are acting like once the Cowboys lost their last game, they were immediately supposed to go and pay George Pickens that next week, or soon after the day after the Super Bowl, they were supposed to give George Pickens a contract. Bro, we know it don't work like that. We know the reason why they are putting the franchise tag on him. Why are we trying to create narratives and agendas like we don't know why the Cowboys would put the franchise tag on him? You put the franchise tag on him so he doesn't have a chance to hit free agency and other teams could offer him contracts. That gives the Cowboys a window to negotiate. They have all the way up into July to negotiate a contract. Why would they just allow him to hit free agency in a team that may come with more cap space than him or whatever the case may be and give him a massive deal and they don't have no chance to retain him or nothing? Make it make sense. Like, we got to stop trying to force feed these narratives or put these things out there in the air. Put these things out there in the air. Like, we know why they're putting the franchise tag on them. I knew it was coming. I've been knew it was coming. I knew. And then people are saying, well, why would you go out and pay Javonte Williams knowing that you got George Pickens? Bro, everybody knows Javonte Williams was going to be an easier contract to get done before George Pickens. The Cowboys took a chance on Javonte Williams. They gave him a 1 year, like $3 million deal after he came off of multiple leg injuries. They gave him a chance. I remember people clowning the Cowboys for signing him. He had a breakout year, a hell of a year. They gave him a contract for $8 million. Javonte Williams made it publicly known he wanted to stay in Dallas and he wanted to get the contract done early. Why are people acting like they didn't know a Javonte Williams deal would be easier to get done than George Pickens? Like, come on, bro. Like, we got to stop trying to create these narratives and make up all these agendas. Like, come on, bro. George Pickens has made it abundantly clear he wants to be in Dallas. Everybody knows he wants to get paid. CeeDee Lamb has made it abundantly clear that he wants George Pickens in Dallas. Dak Prescott has made it abundantly clear he wants George Pickens in Dallas. The Cowboys still have to restructure contracts, see things that they're going to decide to get done to open up cap space, and then I believe a deal will get done. Now, I seen earlier in the week, and I also got in my notes, that they said George Pickens is only seeking a deal for $30 million. Now, if that is the case, $30 million a year. Now, if that is the case, that is a godsend for the Cowboys. That's a godsend, and I hope and if that's the truth, now if that is the case, that needs to get done quick. $30 million a year after the season that he just had. At a point in time, there were arguments, and people could say whatever they want. At a point in time, there was a legit argument where people were saying that George Pickens might be better than CD. For him to come off a year where he had 93 catches, 1,429 yards, 9 touchdowns, was a Pro Bowler and a second-team All-Pro, and he's only asking for $30 million a year. If that is the case, and that's the number, the Cowboys have to get that done. And if they can't get that done, now that is when it's a problem. Now that is when it's a problem. Because I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. I expected for George Pickens to ask for 35, 36 million. CD's already getting paid 34. I was expecting George Pickens to ask for 35, 36. So if his number is only 30, oh man, that's a godsend. If I'm the Cowboys, you gotta get that done. You have to get that done. Now, we got to see, David Mulligata in the Cowboys front office. Everybody know the elephant in the room, the whole thing with Micah Parsons. But at the end of the day, that situation is already done. Now it's time to focus on George Pickens and see how you can manage to get things, get this thing situated. This is something that I don't want to have to drag into off-season programs and OTAs and mini camps, because you want him there doing all that, especially during training camp. So I hope the Cowboys have learned their lesson and, they ready to just attack this thing, find out, they say that the talks are supposed to heat up during the combine. So hopefully, they figure this thing out and they get something done rather quick so we don't have to go through the whole off-season saga. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't expect George Pickens to show up, especially with that agent. I don't expect him to show up to no off-season anything under a franchise tag. I don't see that happening. Now, if you're willing to put the franchise tag on him and pay him $28 million for 1 year, and his camp is asking for $30 million a year, to me that should be a no-brainer. If you're willing to give him $28 million for 1 year, come on, you do the math. Why not do the $30 million? Now, I think if me personally, what I'm assuming, if he is only asking for $30 million a year, I believe that he wants it maybe on a shorter term. So he's probably only looking for maybe like a 3-year deal, a 4-year deal, so he'll have another bite at the apple. And the Cowboys, they like to give you those 5-year deals and things like that. So I believe that may be, the tug of war that's going on between the two sides. But if he's only asking for $30 million, I don't see a reason why the Cowboys won't try to hurry up and get that done. But that's just my opinion. But I just mainly wanted to speak on, mainstream media and these bigger platforms speaking on, acting like it's a shock to everybody, like expecting the Cowboys soon as the Super Bowl hit zeros on the clock, they expected the Cowboys to just slide George Pickens a blank check and that just be it. We all know the business doesn't work like that. And we all know that the Cowboys are just not going to willingly allow him to walk into free agency and just go on into the sunset without giving themselves a chance to retain him. So of course they were going to put the franchise tag on him so he can't go anywhere. Like, come on, bro. Like, why is everybody acting like this is such a big shocker? It's not. If we've seen this done plenty of times. We've seen it done a bunch of times. So why? But I get it. When it comes to the Cowboys, you know, everybody gotta paint these narratives, or they gotta put these opinions and things out there. I get it. But to me, this is not a shocker. I seen the franchise tag thing coming from a mile away. Pause. And that's just my thoughts on it. And that's it, man. But before, and I had to make sure that I did this, man, because this was something that, you know, I'm not big on the sport like that, but this is something that I had to do, man. Before I get out of here, I want to give a special shout out to the men's USA hockey team for winning gold in the Olympics. I believe it was the day before yesterday, or it might have been Sunday they won. I don't remember the exact date, but man, I just want to give a shout out to them. Winning gold in the Olympics. I believe it was the last time they won was 1980. So man, shout out to the men's Olympic hockey team, USA, going out there beating Canada. We know that Canada has dominated in hockey for some time now, and for the men's USA hockey team to go out there and win gold since the 80s, that's before I was born. So it's been a minute. Shit, that was like 14 years before I was born. You know what I'm saying? The last time they won. So shout out to Team USA men's hockey for going out there, winning gold, man. I've been watching it on the news. I seen, you know, young hockey team stopping in the middle of their games, celebrating. I seen, you know, man, it's been crazy. Them going out to the club in Miami. And, man, I'm just so happy for them. You know, I'm USA all the way. When it comes to anything Olympics, I'm always going for Team USA. So shout out to USA for going out there, the hockey team, representing and bringing home the gold, man. I had to make sure. I was going to do it at the beginning, but I had slipped up. But I had to make sure that I salute y'all guys, man, for going out there and bringing home the gold. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, but guess what? For the next 4 years, I held up 2 4s, but y'all, for the next 4 years, hey, man, men's hockey USA, we the gold, we the champs. You know what I'm saying? We got the gold. So shout out to y'all, man. I had to make sure I did that before this episode ended. I appreciate y'all for topping in with me each and every week. Y'all know where to find me, man. Do not forget, like I said, smash that subscribe button. We are almost at 400 subscribers. Also, do not forget to like this video when it drops and make sure you share it, man. And I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next time.